The first race I tried Traxxion dynamic forks was at Daytona. They just rock, dude. I mean, I tried Olin's, I tried GP suspension, you know, all that stuff, and as soon as I put these forks on, I mean, I felt no bumps. I mean, like, the bumps were away.
I rode the Traxxion forks for the first time at Laguna Seca. We had a little test between, you know, some other forks and the Traxxion forks, and the track was pretty bumpy and rough, and you know, I was trying to find any little advantage I could to go quicker, and sure enough, I was a half second a lap quicker on the Traxxion forks.
We're the development team for them, so when the new stuff comes out, we try it first and make sure everything's going to be good before it goes to the consumers. You know, it's great for us, and we try new stuff, and so you go faster, and then the next year everybody else goes the same speed when they get it. So, you know, it's good all around, and stuff is the best. It's the best out there. You know, we could buy other stuff, but we choose to be with Traxxion. So.
Ever since they've been helping me out, my time's been dropping like crazy. And I'm just cruising around, not feeling no bumps, and just doing my own thing.
Probably 90% of our business is done through UPS and FedEx. People ship their forks, ship their shocks to us. We build them, ship them back out. We don't see the whole bike. So this is the main service shop. So once we take forks and shocks off a bike, or they come in through UPS or FedEx, everything is tagged and labeled and comes into the service shop here. Once they come in, everything is completely disassembled down to the bare components. We have a micrometer where we actually roll the fork tubes to see if they're straight. We clean everything. We have an ultrasonic parts cleaner. So we put all the parts in there, blast all the dirt off. They come out looking as new as they possibly can.
Basically, every bike we ever work on, you know, you have all the specifications for it. Basically, everything you ever touched, it's you know, it's not every single bike, but you know, it's pretty close.
These are all built per order, so when anybody calls in, it's built for them based on the specs that they give us, their weight, how they're using the bike. Our AK-20 kit, the whole thing is hard coat anodized. So there's no metal on metal contact, there's no aluminum rubbing on aluminum. So it's going to reduce the oxidation that gets into the oil, turns the oil black and dingy looking. The buffer kit keeps the spring centered over the cartridge and off the fork tube wall, so it's not rubbing on the fork tube wall, putting little pieces of metal and debris into the oil.
You have these very fine, high quality steel shims. It's the similar material that's used in springs. They have to seal, okay? But it's a flat surface with just the shim sitting on it. So if anything gets in between, which happens, it will stop the shim from closing. Okay, and that basically defies your low-speed bleed circuit. So that's something we're trying to avoid, but it's in conventional fork is almost impossible because you have a steel spring that tends to flake. You have metal parts running up and down. So stuff will get in there. That's why they need to be serviced on a regular basis. especially particularly on a race bike or high performance application.
This is the most state-of-the-art cartridge on the market. Whereas the AK-20 kit bolts into your fork and then is filled with oil to create damping, this is our AK gas cartridge, which actually has a nitrogen charge and oil inside of this unit here.
It sits in the fork just like any other cartridge, but it's completely sealed. Okay. Basically, in a conventional cartridge, this rod has to travel a certain amount before the pressure in the cartridge itself increases, and that's when actual damping happens. It's dependent on velocity. This cartridge, as soon as it starts moving, it's damping immediately. Plus, there's no cavitation, which is another big deal.
This is the first and only gas-charged cartridge. Will drop into an OEM fork and is still legal in all of the racing organizations around the country and around the world. When it's gas-charged, it's forcing the oil back through this, so there's no delay. It's immediate. So you can go from compression to rebound immediately. There's no lag. There's no cavitation in the oil. When you move oil very quickly, an air pocket forms behind it, and when that goes through the valving, it skips. So it's not absorbing that bump. It's not getting the wheel back down to the ground and not working as it should. So by putting a gas charge, it eliminates all that and just makes the bumps disappear. That's the biggest thing people say when they ride on our AK gas, is the bumps just disappear.
At Laguna Seca this year, everybody was complaining about the track has more bumps and it's a lot more rough. I thought it was smoother because I'm on the Traxxion dynamic forks now.
It's just much more feel on the track versus the other ones, and I mean when you're getting down to tenths of a second, you're looking for a little bit more. I mean every little thing helps, and when you're feeling comfortable going into that corner, pushing the front end, and you hit that bump and you're not worried about it, it puts a lot of confidence in your head to go a lot quicker.